Woman, have 4 lovely children. I have 7 grandchildren and enjoy retirement.
Meyer. I'm a retired primary teacher. I have 1 son, a granddaughter, and a grandson. And I was telling others, it used to be that if you were asked to be a president or something, it was an honor. Nowadays, you walk into an organization and they grab you. And so I am enjoying doing some public service type of things, leading groups, and enjoying life with my husband, Trent.
And I used to do a lot of volunteer work, and I retired. And I used to do a lot of cooking for him, and I retired. So I'm just generally retired.
I'm Gloria Seifert Feely, and together we have raised 3 of his children, 4 mine and 1 of ours. And neither of us are retired.
Talk louder.
I was an RN in a doctor's office, 1.5 grandsons. And I'm thrilled to death.
Public accountant all my life. Semi-retired, but enjoying it now. Have 3 children, 1 stepson, and 6 grandchildren.
I'm her husband. We raised 9 children. I have 19 grandchildren. 9? And leaving in the morning to visit a new one in Scotland. Shirley Probst Miskimis. I'm retired secretary for JIK's company. I have a son and a daughter and 2 granddaughters and a husband who's retired from the police department. We've been married since '54.
We brought Kelman. I'm going to retire from Xavier University after 25 years. I have 5 children and 7 grandchildren. Sister, I've been married for 47 years. I have 4 children, 8 grandchildren. We have 20 acres and enjoy every bit of it.
I've been teaching at Ohio University for the past 26 years. I'm going on what we call early retirement. They gave me a chair a week ago or so at a party, and I plan to sit in that chair for the first month of retirement. Maybe the second month I'll start rocking. We'll see.
I am from radio broadcasting. I'm married 4 years to a lovely, I said 40.
Especially, we all are, Jack.
The influence is overwhelming. But I'm married to the same woman all these years. And wonderful person. And we have 3 children and 6 grandchildren. And they live in various areas of the country. And I just am very thankful. I'm a transplant recipient, and I'm very thankful for the blessing of a woman in Michigan who shared her kidney with me. And I don't know any more about it, but I just thank the Lord for that process that took place there, and the doctors who helped it happen.
And I have 5 children and 7 grandchildren, and just enjoying life.
I'm Joe Hall, retired from National City up in Akron, and married and fairly newlywed, only about 6 years to dear Francis.
I'm Helen Billhorn, Hackett Billhorn. I worked for 12 years at AT&T, and then finally I succumbed to marriage at the age of 30, and my husband's a 42 graduate. And we have 2 children and 3 grandchildren, and we do a lot of singing.
And we got a surprise.
I retired after 48 years as the American leather chemist. This is my first reunion, even though I live within 10 miles of Western Hills.
Werner Straczynski, and brought my daughter tonight. My husband doesn't care to socialize very much. Although we've been married 49 years, they must have socialized somewhere. But anyway, I worked for American Greetings for 19 years, and I stopped, had a hip operation last September, but it's gone out 4 times. It just happened again yesterday, but I'm here in the my brace on because I wasn't real bad. And we have 2 children. I brought my daughter and a son and 3 grandchildren.
Oh, I'm Catherine Crow, and I moved to California, and I retired from the state of California after 21 years as secretary and workman's comp
and I love being retired.
I'm with Catherine Peterson Rain. I've been widowed for the last 6.5 years. That's the unhappy part of my life. I have 2 wonderful children, both married, wonderful in-laws, and 3 beautiful grandchildren.
45 years, my lovely college sweetheart. We live in California. 4 kids, 7 grandchildren. I spend a lot of time in the northern Sierras chasing trout.
Chasing trout.
Married, got 3 children, 3 stepchildren, and 7 grandchildren. I'm retired, and my hobbies are gardening and woodworking.
Married to the same woman for 44 years, 2 daughters, 4 grandchildren.
We've been married 48 years. We have 3 daughters and 4 granddaughters. And I like to play golf.
Oh, we missed somebody.
Robert Cobb. I've been retired for 6 years as a former master tool die maker. Been married and have 3 children. Thank you.
Jack John Poundstone. Back in 1947, a pretty little girl put a note in my book, Mrs. Morrison's World History class. Esther Poundstone asked me to go on a date with her. And from that little note sprang 5 kids and 11 grandchildren. We've been very, very, very happy and very fortunate. I'm a cancer survivor. We all have our little aches and pains. If you can't think about them, just look up, go forward. Right now, we have a son and a daughter-in-law, 3 kids, and a dog at our house, plus my other daughters in Colorado. So we're glad to be here tonight.
Sick, and I have spent my life loving the magic children. We have 4, and we have a lot of strays as it stayed for years. Painting pictures, buying and selling real estate, and I have been married to this wonderful man for 48 years. I just wasted the other 2.
Don Cashman, was in the Army for 2 years after I graduated from UC. Chemist until I retired. Just had, well, a year ago had open heart surgery. Married 1 woman. Gonna be 36 years, I guess. 2 children, 2 lovely grandchildren. And if anybody wants to give me any gifts, tomorrow's my birthday.
Gratch. Maybe some of you remember.
Jack Gratch.
Married to this lovely lady here, Shirley Pennington, with Mercy. She was a younger girl, you know, when I was in high school. We have 3 children. 5 now. 5 I was a teacher, and we live in California. Glad to be back. This is the first time we've been back. And it's been a real strain trying to remember these faces. And enjoyed it. Met a lot of wonderful people.
Bob Dominic, and I'm Walter's parole officer. No, I retired in 1984 from teaching at Vermont High School as a music supervisor and choral director. Married to the same woman for 43 years with 3 wonderful children and 5 grandchildren. Staying in music a little bit right now. I'm directing 1 community choir, and I'm also directing a group that we do a concert tour in Europe every 2 years. So keeping my fits into it a little bit.
46 years to John Fisher. I don't know about that. We live in Florida area, Orlando area, and we are retired 2 years ago. They left off for 2,000 years.
Retired from medicine. I practiced out in the country for about 35 years. Married a girl from Withrow. Been married 25 years. I retired 2 years ago, and our divorce comes up next month.
He didn't get very good. No. No worries.
47 years. We have 5 children and 7 grandchildren. Semi-retired. We have 5 children, 7 grandchildren.
I'm Dr. Riesenbeck, widowed, retired, 7 children, 9 grandchildren.
Well, Spencer Kroger, they allow those elder boys on the school buses, so I married one of them. And we have 5 children, and just in our 12th grandchild. And he's spoiled and pretty good, so I've been retired all my life, thank you, and I've enjoyed many things. We've all taken a lot of things. He's made my life very comfortable. We're happy to be here.
White, we were classmates in 48. We've been married for 46 years, I think. Yeah. Engaged still in our retail business here in Cincinnati, and it's an honor to be here with you tonight. Thank you.
Verna.
Verna White Hellman. This is my husband, in the class of 46. We had 3 children, and we have 5 grandchildren. And other than that, we're happy to be here tonight. I'm Martha Stern Greiner, and I'm married to Glenn Greiner, class of 46. We have 5 children and 10 grandchildren, and we travel a lot.
Come on, Lori.
I'm Lori Lane's girl. This is my husband's hard girl. We have 3 children, 5 grandchildren, and retired from teaching now.
I've got some glare on my glasses. Well, go ahead, Patty. Oh, Al Stahl. I didn't. Come on.
Okay, my name is Al Stahl. I'm retired, and prior to that, I spent most of my life working for Raytheon Engineers. I'm married.
By the way, but Don Smith, are you back there? Okay.
Well, married about 20 years.
So, next table over. About time.
There's one in every crowd.
We're glad to see you here, Eileen. Is that it, that table? Let's go to the table right next to him here. Don, start us.
Bill, not Bill. Bill Schuster.
Come on, somebody else at that table. Don.
Don Waddle.
That I don't do, bro.
Every day.
Sounds like a triple dipper to me.
I'm retired from the University of Cincinnati as administrator for 16 years. I married my wife Pam, which is a 47 graduate. 49 graduate.
There goes the weekend.
3 grandchildren. Both our girls are Western Hills graduate, and we're real excited. We're expecting our 3rd child in next month. We heard about the guy that died from Braga.
No, you want to tell us?
It took 3 men to close his coffin.
Come on, Miles. Dick, start us over here. Come on, Dylan. Jim Fulton, start us in the back.
I'm Dorothy
Come on, Mark.
Till I got it right. I got it right about 15 years ago. She put me in charge of the postman.
47 years. I thank God for the wonderful life.
Don't do that to me.
Thomas. I'm a retired RN. I have 4 children who have graduated from Western Hills. I have 9 grandchildren and 2 great-grandchildren.
See, now back to Columbus, Ohio, being able to be near a son and working part-time in the library, keeping myself active with everything that's going on. Enjoy my 4 grandchildren, 2 dogs, just enjoy being partially retired.
I'm Dick, and he's from class 44, and we have 4 children and 9 grandchildren, and we will celebrate our 50th reign anniversary next month.
I'm Dorothy Page Conrad, and I've been married to Bill for 47 years. We have 6 children, 13 grandchildren. I also worked for Procter & Gamble after I raised the kids for 17 years. And I still love to swim, and I belong to Phillips Swim Club, and I swim every day.
Bob?
Bob Wanning, and I've been retired 5 years, and I've got my wife working.
4 grandchildren. I'm a retired RN with a great hospital and enjoying retirement very much.
Widowed for a year, retired when I was 65. I was also an RN, retired director of nursing. I have 13 grandchildren, 4 great-grandchildren, and 1 on the way.
One at Methodist University and one at Miami University. Kids live in St. Louis and in Kansas City. I've been retired 3 years, and Jenny's put me in charge of the kitchen. The BMW Gray, some wildlife, 322 WBR. The lights are on.
Who's got jumper cameras?
Everybody's ashamed to get up, or somebody's ashamed to get up?
Of everybody, and that was no easy task, I know. So I think we owe a great big round of applause, not only to Bill, because I know Jenny did an awful lot of work herself. Jenny, would you stand up and let us all give him a great round?
Much as I appreciate it, it's undeserved. We've had a group of women who have traced all of you for the last 50 years. And we have women who have changed their names 4 times, lived in 8 places, and they've managed to track.
Years ago, we graduated, and here we are all together enjoying one another. They've asked me to talk about those 50 years in 5 minutes. I don't know what I can say. We're all seniors again, right? We were seniors in 48. We're all seniors again. Hey, you know. Of course, my mother-in-law tells me that seniors are the greatest carrier of AIDS. I don't know. Band-aids, hearing aids, all sorts of things. Well, listen, I want to start by giving you a quotation from our annual. Jim Fulton put together a wonderful yearbook for us, and I got a quote from it. It says, "The final year has gone, and the sun is truly set on that part of our lives which we call carefree high school days. We shall not turn back except in memories." And that's what we've got now, isn't it? Memories. Isn't it great? And how about some of those memories from Western Hills? Do you remember them? We were all Depression kids, weren't we? Born into the Depression. Didn't have much. Well, a bunch of us came from pretty poor families. But the Depression ended while we were in high school, right? And things got pretty good. We had it okay. But still, you know, I don't remember my mom and dad buying me any $90. There were all sorts of good things that happened back then. Paul's drugstore that he was pushing them over there, I guess, but that's all I ever heard about. And, you know, we all had lockers at high school. The ones of us that toured this morning got to see our old lockers. We all had locker partners. You remember who your locker partner was? Mine was Jack Poundstone. You remember Jack? Remember that was locker partner? You remember the combination of our lock? The state champs, and then a lot of those guys played on the Bentley Post American Legion team and went on to be national champs. We had a bunch of great athletes. How about it? All you guys that earned a letter in any sport, let me see you stand up. Let's see it. Track, golf, tennis, chess, come on. The varsity, let's hear it for the varsity, guys. You remember that football team? They beat Elder, didn't they? Huh? We all froze on Thanksgiving morning, but they beat Elder. And those of us that went to Lima got wetter and all get out. That was the wettest football game on record.
Howard, Jen, I want you to mention the girls.
How about the girls? The letter girls.
The letter girls? Let's see the letter girls. Okay. Come on, Janet. Let's see all the letter girls.
Stand up. Yeah.
All right. Let's hear it. My wife always asked that I was a chauvinistic bastard. Dance auditorium. That's right. That's right. Let's talk about some of the things in Cincinnati back in 19time. In those automobiles that are so much better than the old cars that we had when we were in high school. Phil, I'm sorry to say that, but I think today's are even better than the one you had. How about those jet airplanes? And even jumbo jets, right? And transistors. I never did know what they were, but they tell me that they're really wonderful. Computers. It's a new way of life. Have your grandkids told you how to work a computer yet? Organ transplants and all sorts of medical advances. We experienced all these things. Space travel. We saw the man land on the moon. What a generation that we've lived in. We've experienced 13 presidential elections. We might not have liked what we got out of them, but we experienced them. 10 different presidents. And we saw the big red machine, right? And Pete Rose hit 4192, hey? Yeah. And we celebrated America's 200th birthday. We celebrated Cincinnati's 200th birthday. All sorts of good experiences. Of course, then there was Watergate, Iran Gate, and now Zippergate, but you know. On a personal basis, each one of us can probably remember when we left home, gave up the safety and security of mom and dad, and struck out on our own. Remember when we had our first job? Do you remember who your first boss was? Can you remember buying your first car? Probably spent up to $2,000 for that. And your first house that you ever bought? What, 8,000 to 10,000? Maybe you got in a nice house? And then we all, not all, but most all of us got married. And we did it without living together first, you know? Okay. Then you got around to attending graduation again, this time for your kids. And then all of a sudden, the first thing you know, you were entertaining your grandchildren. And I heard somebody over here said they had 19 grandchildren. Boy, that's great. That is really super.
Why?
And now you can make them go home. They don't stay with you. And now you've reached the stage. A lot of us are retired. A lot more are thinking about retirement. You don't have anything to do. Just sit back, and get acquainted with your doctor. I know. Learn about Medicare and learn about Viagra. Right. But it's been a wonderful 50 years, and we got a great start from Western Hills High School. And I made a note here. I said, as a class, we've done more, traveled more, earned more, and spent more. We've been taxed more, and have enjoyed a much better standard of living than our parents or any previous generation. We've been very fortunate. And I think that we all continue to look forward to that. We've got a lot of life ahead of us, and we're looking forward to enjoying that life and coming back and being here in another 5 years and getting together and raising a little sand. I want to conclude by misquoting Robert Fulghum just a little bit. All we really needed to know, we learned at West High.
Great job, Howard. I should have given you this microphone at the beginning of the evening. That concludes it, except for Bob Dominic's portion a little bit later. Thank you all for coming. It's good to see you all. God bless you. Enjoy the rest of the evening.